Okay, problem 1,108, it wants to compute a sum over here. And again, when I first looked at it, I thought maybe it's divergent, all right? So always say, let me take a careful look at it. We did go through it though, at the whiteboard, and we did get an answer, and this is the answer we got over here. Now I'm always curious if Sage is able to do these problems. So what I'm gonna do is go to Sage, and there's a point to this, and the point is that you really need to learn how to use software. I'm not that great at using Sage, but I certainly can type this thing in. And I'm going to reset first. I'm going to define n as a variable. I'm going to define a function f. And that function is a function where n is the argument. And it's just simply the sum and, which is the square root of n squared plus 3n plus 2 minus the square root of n squared plus n minus 1. And then I do is just see if I can do the sum. And the sum is going to be, fn's the sum and n is a counter. It starts at 1 and it goes off to infinity. And Sage, what happened to Sage? It says, oh yeah, the sum is divergent. I'm not sure what's happening here, but I'm not an expert in software. So what I want to do is say, gee whiz, maybe I got the wrong answer over here, and let me see what AI is going to say about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy paste this. And the way to do that is I have access to the document. And if you have this document, you probably have access to the LaTeX too. I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to go to my web browser. I'm going to type it into OpenAI. And let's see what it does. And it's looking at the problem. It's going to start to type soon, at least I hope it does. Maybe it's not looking at it. I'll have to enter that. I guess my enter key didn't work that time, but it's thinking. And I notice up here it says upgrade for free. Maybe I'll do that later. But right now I'm just kind of curious what this is going to do with this particular problem. And again, I'm asking it to compute the sum I just gave my efforts at the whiteboard and got a number. And then when I asked Sage, let's go back to that. Sage gave me some, cryptic information over here. Whoops. What I mean by that, you can see how much came back at me over here. I'm certainly not reading through that, but if you do see this runtime error, all right? And then at the end of this thing, it kind of spits out, it choked on it, sum is divergent. All right, I'm going to go back to my browser. Oh, wow, it did something over here. It does say it's telescoping, and it does say it has some over here that we got over here. All right, I also want to go to Wolfram Alpha, and I want to type in the same thing I did before. I don't know if it's going to understand my LaTeX, though. I think it does, though. I don't know why it shouldn't understand the LaTeX, but let's see what it does. It doesn't understand the query. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this. And I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to take this part out. Again, I'm not sure if it understands. But you notice that OpenAI really understood my LaTeX code. Now it's starting to understand it. I will say this, though. It's not giving me an exact answer. It's giving me an approximate answer, which is good. And it does say it converges, which is good. All right. Now over here, I want to go back to my notes. And on my notes, we're getting the same answer that OpenAI got. I did not look at their work, though. I imagine their work is very similar to my work. And again, Wolfram Alpha got this number over here. Let me just show you that again. I'm going to pull it down a little bit. And let me get rid of this window here. I'll pull this up. And the number that Wolfram Alpha got is, approximately the same number as this one over here. We're good to go. Thank you.